Shooting it raw?
Yes. Shooting it raw. Aww. So nice. Okay, great. So it's a photo of you and another person. You're sitting in like closer to the photographer. You have cards in your hand. You're holding a mic. You're in the middle of a kind of, not a belly laugh, but you're kind of like chuckling, you know. I get the impression that you like to laugh. And then sitting next to you is, I guess, an MC interviewer or something. He's kind of dressed like a good old boy. He's got like a cap on. He's got a checkered shirt. He's wearing jeans. You're both wearing jeans. It looks like you're at a round table or a reading of some sort. Yeah, what's this?
I'm trying to remember what that picture was.
It's called My Gift and How to Help Others.
My Gift and How to Help Others. Oh gosh, I'm really trying to remember that.
So, okay, so you don't even have to look at the photo, right? So here's what's interesting, right? Like all of this is part of your life. And so let's like, we can get philosophical about it in that these conversations are about looking at these little snapshots and these little windows of experience. And it's really interesting because this happens where people send me the message, the photos, and then we speak like a month or 2 months later.
Okay. Okay, I see it now.
Okay. This is your life. What the hell? What the fuck are we looking at?
Okay, so yes, this is one of my favorite authors of all time. His name is Jack Carr. He is a former Navy SEAL.
Yeah.
So this is Jack Carr, and you can see the sign behind him. We're at Memorial City Mall.
Right.
And this is a live Q&A. So what you see me laughing at, and it looks almost like he's looking at the camera. I don't know why, but I'm looking out into the audience. We are sitting before, because this was in 2022. Yeah, 2022. So last year, about maybe 50 people inside the courtyard of a mall, a major mall here in Houston, Memorial City Mall. And it's a Q&A, and we were having a lot of fun talking about one of his books. What was the name of the book? I think it was In the Blood, if I'm not mistaken. So this guy's story is, it's incredible. First off, Navy SEALs are the most badass guys in the history of the world, where like we think about the samurai from hundreds and hundreds of years ago. Well, 500 years from now, people are going to look at Navy SEALs the way we look at the samurai.
Okay.
Yeah, they're just the toughest men on earth. And I can't be convinced otherwise. Now, what's so interesting about his story, so he retired from the Navy and he had started writing. He's always been a reader and has always been obsessed with storytelling and stories. And if you listen to enough interviews with him, if you listen to enough podcast interviews or watched him on YouTube, you know how obsessed he is with books. So he wrote a book, and he had a friend call him up and was like, Jack, thank you for what you did for me. He's like, okay, I don't remember what I did. But he goes, hey, I heard you got a book coming out. Yeah, I have a book coming out. I just finished it. I can send you a galley copy. Happy to send you a copy. Yeah, sure. But can I have another one? He's like, okay, sure. I'll personalize it. Who should I make it out to? Chris Pratt.
Okay.
So,
wow.
Yeah. So he's like,
amazing.
Yeah. So my friend Chris Pratt would like a copy of your book. So before the book had ever, because a galley copy is an uncorrected proof. So before the book ever even hit shelves, it went to Chris Pratt, and he was like, yeah, we're going to turn this into a series. And so it was the Amazon series Terminal List, which is the first book in the James Reese series. Terminal List was it came to fruition last year, which that show is bananas. Like, just, the books are amazing. The series is really, really good. I don't know if you ever saw the movie Training Day. It was directed by Antoine Fuqua, And so he's one of the guys behind the series. Just the
Right.
cinematography is amazing.
Just to go back to the photo for a second.
Yeah.
So so you're sitting there, you're wearing this like bright shirt, you have this nice smile. You're obviously doing, I guess now you're doing Q&A with people. Somebody must have asked a funny question. And as you say, Jack, I guess he's looking at the photographer. He's got this big old beard. He could look for all, he's definitely like big chested and all this stuff. He could be a farmer for all we know, he could be like whatever. So you're saying, okay, so here's this badass who's had quite a life. You're there as a kind of a bridge to the audience who may not know him or just be curious, just passersby or whatever. And you call it my gift and how to help others, which from my life experience working in something called service leadership or service network leadership, which is about coaching and training and helping people better understand how to work with one another within human networks and person to person. Like just in the little bit that we've met, you've heard that I seem to put a lot of attention on this notion of service, right? And in the US, I know, when you take the train, when you take a plane, when you go around, you're always hearing like, thank you for your service to the military. Okay, so I just threw all these words in your direction. Why don't you take that little salad of things and take us into the direction that makes sense for you? Like, how do you interpret service and giving back and giving? Because you're obviously a giving person.
Thank you. So the reason why I called it my gift and how I plan to use it to help others is that as long as I've been in radio and, I can't for the life of me escape my past. My career is my career. And when I took over that community affairs show, it was really, I didn't want it. Like I said, I was voluntold to do it. I guess this is how much respect that day part got. They didn't hire somebody to do it. They just told somebody that, oh, hey, you know what? You're going to do it, Freddy. Okay. Right. Well, do I get a say in the matter? No, I didn't. It was, how am I going to, I made a successful career out of doing the shit that nobody else wanted to do. And I'm going to apply that training that my mother taught me that there things that you've just got to do, some things that you don't want to do. And and I accepted it. Then I made myself enjoy it, and then I eventually just enjoyed it, and I did it. And like I said, I eventually, by the time I left that radio station, it was a destination show. I don't know what they're doing now, but during that time when I would interview people, I didn't realize how good at interviews I was. I had no idea. So I took over that show in the summer of 2015. So almost 2015. So like 8 years ago. And I had done interviews before, but I hadn't done them often enough to really know that I had a gift for talking to people. I'm a better interviewer than I am a guest, because I'm forced to do less talking and more listening.
Right.
And so that is my gift. And one of the things that I want to do is help podcasters unleash the inner gift that they have, because I think that we're all capable of listening and having conversations, and complex conversations at that. Not just, hey, what's your favorite color? Hey, why'd you do this? Hey, why'd you do that? I love the idea of this conversation where you peel back the layers of a photo and we just go from there. I love that idea, because it's a nuanced conversation from an entirely different perspective.
Right. So and you'll see that as an interviewer, some people just like, don't interrupt your guest so much. I'm like, yeah, but hold on.
No, I love it. I love it. Yeah.
Because we're just talking. We're shooting
conversation.
So So one of the things. Okay. So, a photograph in actual mechanical time. So for example, the photo here of you two in this mall was probably taken at 1/60th of a second, right? That's 1/60th of a second of light that was recorded and fixed. And now we're looking at it so many years later, talking about it. Now, in a way, it's an accidental, it's a snapshot, right? Okay. And in the same way, you fall into you're working at this radio station and they turn to you and they say, oh, by the way, Sunday, you're doing this show. It's your baby now. Run with it. And you're just like, what? And what? Oh, I guess. And then you kind of settled into it. Now, the question is, was that an accident or was that a kind of, in the big picture, a kind of a self-selection that really was an important step for you to get to so that you can get to here, to running your own podcasting platform empire? Yeah. So do you understand? Maybe my question is not nonsensical, but okay, you take it from there.
No, I don't think it's nonsensical. I totally get what you mean. What was it? Freud. It was Freud that said there are no accidents.
Okay.
And so, yeah, you're right. A sign or self-selection or something. Maybe I was voluntold to do it because management saw me as the only guy who could do it.
The best person in Houston, right? It's a weird way of thinking about it, but really, in the market of Houston, you fell into it because, for better or for worse, you were the best person on hand.
Yeah. And I don't see myself as the best of anything. I'm just a guy. and I know some people kind of accuse me of being overly modest, but really when you think about just how rare it is to even be alive, and then I'm the result of an unplanned pregnancy, and that irony is not lost on me. My parents had me when I was very young, and you realize just how rare it is to even be a human, and not just at all, but in this moment in history, it's a rare occurrence. And
it's miraculous.
Yeah, it really is. What is it, 400 trillion or 4 trillion to 1? The odds of being born. I mean, if my dad had shown up even 5 minutes late to whatever he and my mom were doing that night, and the thought of even speaking those words, it disgusts me because it's bad. But yeah, it's just, if he was 5 minutes late picking her up, I wouldn't be on here.
Sure. No, I know, but it's that kind of thinking fries my brain because it's like, exactly, so many experiences in our lives. It's kind of like it was like suddenly it's like the world could have gone in this other direction, and it was just, by accident it went in this direction where you're born, and then now we're talking, or that you're sitting with Jack. Yeah, it's quite profound.
Yeah, it really is, man.
So, you can either rewind a little bit because one of the funny things that you said was your parents had you when you were very young. I think when they were very young, but it came out as when you were very young. Yeah, when you were born, you were super young. You're about as young as it gets.
Yeah. Yeah. I was very young when I was born.
Yeah, I know. It's amazing. But okay, so there are no accidents. There's all this kind of thing. So, but you grew up in Houston. Like you're Houston made, Houston born, Houston bred, all this stuff. Yeah. Or elsewhere.
Yeah. I lived three years in Minneapolis. Almost right after my wife and I had gotten married, and we lived there 3 exact years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Look, your gift. How to help others. So you want to move on to the next photo, or do you want to say one more thing about this particular image?
No, let's do it.
So is life really a gift? Really? Can you make every second count? That's the whole point of the podcast. So if you like what you've seen and you're inspired, because that really is my mission, then please give it a like, subscribe, and share.
Shooting it raw?
Yes. Shooting it raw.